got a real gay one for you this week.
That's right. Are you ready to talk about
Broadway.
wild sexual experiences?
Are you ready to talk about losing a tooth?
Are you ready to talk about open marriages?
You ready to talk about husbands?
And husbands?
Are you ready to talk about being in a hot sauna? Are you ready to talk about Broadway? Did we already say that?
Yes.
Are you ready to talk about husbands? Did we say that?
Yes.
Okay, well, this week we have the incredible Eric Williams with us.
That's right. So we're going to talk about That's a Gas podcast as well as mini wild adventures.
Hit the slay button.
Oh, you're bringing it back.
Diva. Kill yourself. Boots. Mama work boots. I have a gun. I have a gun. Who his nipples is tiny?
M.
Oh.
M. Mom!
When your first choice is a big old bus,
You turn around and boom,
you end up with us.
sloppy seconds. Oh, Diva. Our number is 213-536-9180. Our email is sloppysecondspot@gmail.com. Now on with the show. Hi, you sloppy juice, little f***y nuts, little f***y darling. Are you ready for Sloppy Seconds with Big Dipper, Meatball, and Meatball, and that's Big Dipper?
Were you reading it?
Yeah, I don't know what that was about. I've never read it before in my life, and I was like, I've never said it like this. So then I did, and I didn't like it.
Were you living and laughing and loving?
Lives, loves, loves.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Florist for spring. How groundbreaking.
Oh, is it spring finally?
Yeah.
I got blackout drunk last night.
Oh, so you haven't looked out the window?
I saw a dead squirrel today.
What?
Today!
What did you do to die today? Did you do any vocal warm-ups?
Not
morning?
today, no.
What are your usual theatrical alliteration?
Red leather, yellow leather, red leather, and then a bunch of these like.
For the balls? No, you famously hate balls.
I hate balls, but I think our next guest loves balls.
Same.
And guess what? They're back again for a return appearance on the pod. It's the ball-loving Eric Williams.
Hi, Eric!
Love a scrotum.
Do you like them big and low hanging or more tight to the body?
I was more yes-anding the bit, but if I'm talking about an actual ball sack that I enjoy, I would say if it's too big, I do feel intimidated. If they're too low, I think that we should go to a doctor. However, I love a medium. I don't like when they're waxed. I don't like a waxed smooth ball.
Oh, okay. Full bush.
Of course. I've been a bush advocator for years, honey.
Since 9/11.
Ever since 2001.
Yeah, I don't like when a guy it's all shaved off. But then there's like a happy trail above it.
Oh my God, there's an epidemic right now. Have you seen that? First of all, when guys are keeping chest hair and going full tummy bare, fine.
Wait, what?
The people shaving just
they
tummy.
Keep this and shave
Oh,
down.
but that's only if they have like defined pecs. 'Cause
Yeah.
I don't think that look would work.
Not
if
on
you-
your.
Well, I wouldn't work on me
or
either.
anyone with a very slender body. You need
I
like
think it would work on a slender.
I think you
it would
need
work
like
for
the
you.
ledge for that to make
Or
sense.
or
right?
you just keep like the long. down
So
the
here's
middle
the
and you get
deal
rid
is
of
that
this.
if people just shave their tummies, I'm like, whatever, live your truth. Your body's your body. But when they shave and then they keep just the happy trail, and you can tell they've shaved all around the happy trail,
Sure.
it feels like a DIY that needed a second opinion.
Okay. But have
Yeah,
you
it feels
seen
like
the people?
stick and peel squares of wallpaper when you're like, just put up the paper.
Exactly. Hire a professional.
Yes, always. But have you seen the people that shave in like the abs, like the kind of contour?
That's
So it's like
fierce.
it's not shaved, but it's like trimmed.
That's dark sided.
And so they're
That's
lying.
devil worship.
That's devil work.
I remember the first time I was on a music video with boys who were contouring their abs, and I was like, oh.
Right.
So to all of you out there becoming who you are, I just want to let you know that body trauma you're feeling, a lot of it's fake.
But also, I think it's
Tell me. Wait, what?
It's what Abercrombie and Fitch did to our people,
Braids, yeah.
which is that said that abs equal like you being a valuable person.
Well, New Kids on the Block had a bunch of hits.
And I heard that they
food
did.
makes me sick. That's bad. Did you, when you lived in New York, ever go to one of those Abercrombie and Fitch like model call or like
If you think I had the confidence to go to a model
No,
call,
they would
Sorry,
just wa-
did You?
They walked up to me and my friends on the street and they said, "Hey, you two." And then
Mm.
my fat friend, they were like, "No, you." And they were like, "You two, would you like to come in and like
She had a
apply?"
eating disorder at
I
the
was very
time, so she
thin
was thin.
and I had a unique look. I had long hair
Oh.
and I was
How did
of
you
color. So they asked the two of
What?
Yeah,
us to
used
go
to
in and
be.
do an interview to like work in one of their stores.
Well, that's a huge honor.
But I was like, why am I here? And then when we did the interviews, like, of course, it was like some of the hottest people you have ever seen in your life. And me and my friend just looked at each other and I was like, Devaney, I don't think we're getting this job.
Devaney?
Her name was Devaney and she was white. Yes. I don't
Her
know.
parents said, I know. Devaney.
Devaney.
So you didn't get the job?
No,
How
absolutely not.
how
Some of the
was your
questions
hair
were literally
long?
it was curly. There's photos. I've sent photos. You've seen them. I'll put one right here.
Don't do it. Don't.
Will, text me for the photo. No, the questions were dumb. One of them was like,
Devaney.
if you were a fish in a fish tank, what kind of fish would you want to be?
Fish.
Yes. And you know what? I regret. I said goldfish. I should have said pussyfish.
You said the most. You said
said
you said
No, I
option
just-
A.
I think I actually said clownfish because it was like truly the only like fish I could think of in the moment. Because I like Nemo.
Had Nemo come out yet?
Yeah.
Not to age you, but had Nemo come out yet?
No. Yes, it had come out.
What's Nemo?
But I was like clownfish because
I'm boomer.
I'm funny.
Listen, I would have never been asked to work at an Abercrombie and Fitch store. I
That's
was
crazy.
giving gangly, gawkily, neurotic Jewess from the Midwest. I never once was like, that guy belongs in an Abercrombie and Fitch. They were like, ah! They saw body hair and screamed.
Yeah, that was the other thing. I was like fully hairy.
But you got asked.
Weren't you naring at the time?
I think that might have been when I was naring.
They smelled the nair on you. They said, do you want to interview?
They smelled the burnt hair and they're like, perfect.
You've lived a lot of lives.
I have. That's famously. I used to eat rocks.
When you
From
lived...
rock eating to modeling. So, and to eating disorder to modeling. It's like
Nails.
and no nails.
What happened?
Oh, there?
Yeah.
Can I tell you the
Queer
truth?
tees? Did you fall down the stairs?
So there was a fight at the Queer Tees. John Early called me a and then bit my arm. No, what had happened is that I
Hate that.
I got skin cancer, but the good kind. You go and you're like, yeah, this thing hasn't gone away for a while. And they're like, I'm sure you're fine, girl, but let's biopsy it just in case. And then I forgot about it. And then I got a call and I was like, you booked cancer. But it was the basal cell kind where they're like, it's actually completely gravy. You're going to come in, we're going to take it off. And this type of thing like happens. And the rest is history. I had it taken off like a few days ago. Thanks for asking.
Are you scared?
Nope, I'm
Is it
scared.
gonna spread?
No, I'm scared about all other things, but this one, they like were two like cute girlies that were like talking to me about Love Is Blind while they took it off, and like the only thing I complained about was like it's a tiny thing. So like get your skin checked.
Yeah. How?
Get your skin checked. Go to the
What
dermatologist.
are we looking for when we're getting our skin
What
checked?
I-
Irregular outlines?
Well, yeah.
Bumps.
What I had was
Lumps.
like a little bump that would like start to heal and then I would like catch it on something or like it would just like scab a little bit and then it wouldn't go away. And I'm not proud to say how long this happened for, but like months where I was like, yeah, it's still not gone. And then finally, like at least 6 months where I was
Yeah.
like, it's still there. So this was like a long time of it. And then I went and it's the basal, like it's called like a
Love basil.
Jeff Basil.
It's called a Jeff basal cell cancer. It's
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 a
like
little
they
bald.
call it like a surface level one, so it's like not like they say you get it, you can get rid of it. My aunt apparently had one and never had one again, so that's why I'm not like.
My dad gets like literal cancer dug out of his head all the time.
Oh yeah,
They're like, oh, he's back getting the cancer removed. The top. He's bald and he's been like, sun damaged for years and years.
well, listen, I'm like being extra careful about the sunscreen now, and like when I take my dog on a Silver Lake Reservoir walk,
Brag.
am I doing?
Rich.
Wait, am I bragging about the dog or the walk?
Oh,
The
who can
neighborhood.
afford to have a dog these days?
Well, he's a 13-pound rescue that did cost me $75 because the shelter was like begging people to take dogs off their hands, and that included their neutering.
Did he get neutered in a van?
I didn't ask questions. I just
Okay.
took my drugged out dog home. But no, I live like adjacent to Silver Lake Reservoir.
I know
So
where you live.
Wait, did you move?
No, I've always lived between. Why am I?
No, yeah, say your exact
Sometimes
address.
I forget that I'm
So
on a
what's the
recording
key
with you.
code
Yeah.
to get into the building?
I actually don't even know the key code because I
Have a fob.
don't
Oh,
have a
come on.
fob. I don't have a fob.
So wait, you just went to the queer teas.
How was
this
it?
This will come out months later.
Great. The queer teas was excellent. I think mostly because if I were to lose, it was to someone on this very podcast network who hosts one of not the because this is the best, but one of the best podcasts of all time. It is Delta Work, who did win for Very Delta, and I truly mean this from the bottom of my hole. If I were to lose, it was an honor to lose to her.
Mhm.
I don't
And
know a
she
better
gave such a
person.
good speech.
And Willem did give a good speech for Delta
Yeah.
with the cutout. But no, I if I'm being very honest with you, girlies, the queer teas was combination so fun and like so overwhelming because it was my first time being there. A and B, I don't know, when you're just like in a room full of queer people who were like dressed insane.
Everyone.
Compliment.
Yes.
Dressed
Non-aggressive.
non-aggressive, and me included. I bought a woman's top from Crossroads.
We don't see gender.
Yeah, you just bought a top.
Sorry, I bought a top from Crossroads that was living
On a woman's
On a
body.
on a
for
woman's
long
body
time.
at
Now
first,
it's
and then it
living
lived
in
on
your
mine,
body.
which is incredibly masculine. And then she and so at one point I was like, I need to smoke a little bit of marijuana to like chill out. And
Yeah.
that's when I walked up and I actually did run into John Early and Cola Skull. So I was like, perfect. This is
I was
the
gagged when I found out they were there. I was like, oh, I should have gone.
Didn't you wear this last time we went?
No, I wore something shorter.
Wasn't it this?
No, it was the pink one that I gave to Morgan.
Pink what?
Sheer mini dress.
Hmm.
They had Paula Abdul perform last year.
Oh, with David Archuleta?
No,
Did I make
she
that up?
introduced him. Oh, she performed?
I think she did a little two-step with him for a second. He did her song.
David Archuleta was there. I did not.
He's
I've
so cute.
eaten
You
next to
love
him at a taco shop, and I just kept staring at him. Is that crazy?
No, I mean, I'm sure he's used
I want
to.
to shake him like a baby.
I'm sure he's used to gay people.
Whoa,
slobber.
horny, no, he's too young.
You're. Oh wait, you're not for. Wait, how young is he?
He's like 40.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I was gonna.
Oh, is
say.
he really?
No, but he's like like my age. Do you see how I?
Isn't it my age? Isn't that like crazy? Just
Oh, he's
that room
34.
full of like, oh, so we're the same age. Well, I'm 35. That room full of gay people, and you're just like the whole time you're just like, I know that person, and like wanting to say hi, but also be like, they're having a conversation with someone else.
Well, yeah, it's like tenfold because there's like I know that person from a podcast or from a show, and then also I know that person from my scruff grid, and so then you're like doubly like. There was one guy that was so cute that I've absolutely been in touch with, never have met, never have done anything with, but like
Why?
I think it's one of those like, sometimes it's just hard to make it happen. The stars have to align. I'm like very like I'm like a married gay open guy
Yeah, so
that
it's like
like
you can't really have them over at your house.
I mean it's like yeah, exactly.
You
It's
tell
like
your man to get out.
no, I don't I did see someone post the other day like is it rude if
Yes.
you kick your partner out to have a
I don't
hookup?
think so.
It depends
Well,
on how
It
it's
wouldn't be
communicated.
rude in my relationship.
You are rude.
No,
How would you say it? How would
hey.
you say it?
It wouldn't be rude in my relationship because we would have a boundary and a
Yeah.
rule, and it wouldn't be unacceptable to broach that subject.
Broach.
It
So
might
he's gay.
Well,
it might not work out because I may say like I have a really important Zoom call that I have to be on and I like have to be at my station, or I might say, can I join? But I also might say, okay, I'll go somewhere.
I mean, it's you're right. If it's like, hey, would you mind if? It's different than this guy's coming to plow me. Get the out.
Yes.
Oh, see, now that's the language I would use.
So who's the
Well,
rude one?
You still.
Do you think
And-
I'm meaner? Or do you think Meatball's
you can't make me choose between my parents.
Why not?
Who's meaner? I would say that in terms of like a sharp.
Quick to jump in and answer.
I
Go
would
ahead.
say I can't possibly. Okay, so the person with the sharper like tongue in terms of like a little acid coming out of the tongue is Meatball.
Yeah, of course.
But I wouldn't say either of you are
Right.
mean.
No, but I think
I'm not
that,
friends with mean.
the table.
Oh my god.
Oh, you really shook the table with that one, girl.
But I think what the other side of your sentence is that I'm ultimately the person who's a little more cutthroat. Because I'll just get up and leave.
We call
Not
that
here.
in my industry.
But like at your house when you have a
Yeah.
party, I'll just walk out.
Oh yeah, but that's
Oh
not
yeah,
me.
I made it a point to say goodbye.
I just left. I got too overwhelmed.
Well,
Oh
listen.
yeah, that party got crazy.
Which one was that? Was that?
Hanukkah?
Hanukkah.
Sorry, did
No.
you have a Hanukkah party?
I love that. I'm that big of a Jew. Was it your Hanukkah party that got insane, or was it
can't
Tu
remember.
B'Shvat?
I think it was
Was it
whenever there was a
Pesach?
lot of Hamantashen around.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
hot.
remember I just
Woof.
like brought a bunch of tequila and you were like, we already have too much. And I was like, I could take it home. And you're like, no, leave it.
Well, my husband loves tequila,
Yeah.
so
It was very like, oh no, there's already too much. And I was like, oh.
Are you okay? Clearly, there's been a lot of lore and conversations about this party without me that I'm getting caught up on.
It's just busy. There's
It was
so
just
many
a
gay
busy
people
party.
there.
Everyone knows that you threw a great busy party. And Dipper laid out on the sofa like this.
Yes,
with
I
his
did,
fucking
'cause I
cock
needed-
and balls fully visible on your sofa for
needed-
every one of your stranger friends that he's never met to see.
Hot, I love that.
I was wearing
No.
sweat shorts, and so they were
To your party.
They
Everyone
were-
else was dressed up.
Happy
And
Hanukkah.
it was
They were
a-
clingy.
It was not Hanukkah. It was something else.
I think it was Christmas.
It would have been.
No, it was like a birthday party.
It
Oh, I
probably
just
was
got
a.
lightheaded.
It probably was a birthday party. It's funny. We used to love throwing those parties, but we haven't done them in so long
Too
because
crazy.
it's like a lot, like here's what happened is that we threw one of those parties. I think both of you were unable to make it but invited, and
I was
I
out of
remember that
town.
one, yeah.
was the most
and
recent.
the full, I think it was another birthday, and the full build up I was like really anxious, and like I thought I was just anxious about the birthday, which was I was turning 35. It's not a big birthday. It's
But
like
it feels milestone-y.
I guess it did, but then here's what actually happened is that the party came, it was fun, it was whatever, and then the next morning I felt a deep sense of relief, and I think it was because the party was over and not because of my birthday. So I learned that for my next birthday, which is not until September, but you got to start planning. For my next birthday, I'm not going to throw a big old thing. I feel like I'm at the point where it's like either
Yes.
I go to this weed restaurant that I just went to for the first time, get blazed with like a group of 5 to 6 people.
Mhm.
Okay, the
Do I-
inside circle.
Do I go to be in Palm Springs?
Yes.
But I think it's not like big and a lot of energy put towards planning a party.
Yeah, I think last year I just didn't even have a birthday party. I just was like, I threw fat slut.
Did you come to that one birthday I had that was just like 4 of us having dinner and you
Yes.
kept commenting on how sad it was?
And who's the meaner one?
No, I didn't.
Your birthday is so sad. Look
no,
around.
I didn't.
No, but and you were like, "What? Is this all you're doing?"
I was just a little bit shocked by that. I was like, oh, you don't want to, because in my mind, it's like 2 birthdays ago, I had like that surprise birthday party and I had all my friends like fly in from New York and
Oh,
Phoenix and they all stayed in my house.
I was.
And you came to that too.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
and it
was
was
there.
like a big deal.
I
And then
left early.
yes, of course you did. And Drew Tarver was there too.
love.
Weird.
Did you say in Phoenix?
No, this was here. This was
Oh,
like
I
at my
see, I
house.
see.
Everyone just came to my house and like surprised me. And then the next year, I was like, oh, I'm not gonna do a big thing because that was like so stressful, like you said. And so I was just like, I'll just turn fat into my birthday
Smart.
party. And then I had all my friends come to that early or whatever, and then we hung out, and then that was it.
That's not a
Because
bad
then there's
idea.
like a photo booth,
Yeah,
and it's
yeah,
like
yeah.
everyone gets to be a part of the party.
Built-in activations.
Yeah.
I'm
programming.
Activations.
I'm doing my big one next year.
You're going to Palm Springs?
So,
Yeah, tell us everything.
well,
I think you need to go to Palm Springs, and you need to rent a house,
Yeah.
and then you can't play music outside, and then you just,
And then I'll go to Drain Your Nut.
oh yeah, you should just go to one of the. Oh no,
Last
you
time-
told me that you don't like those nudist resorts.
Well, you're actually conflating about 4 stories.
Hey,
and completely getting it wrong.
Hey,
which is
hey.
what she does.
Hey, would
We'll
you
be
like
right
to do
back
me a
after
favor
the-
and kill yourself?
We'll be right back after this break.
There is nothing like a good night's sleep. I feel refreshed, energetic, ready to take the day. Good sleep equals a better me.
Totally. And you know what can really make for a bad sleep? A bad mattress, something that is not a good fit for you. I'm currently dealing with that right now while I'm out of town. I'm sleeping on a twin mattress that is not dialed in exactly for me, and it makes it challenging to get a really restful night of sleep.
Yeah, like when you sublet an apartment or move to a new place, it's easy just to grab whatever's available for a mattress. But being intentional with your mattress choice makes all the difference.
And that's why we love our Helix mattresses. I get great sleep on my Helix mattress at home. I miss it so much.
I know I'm going to be gone for a whole week and a half, and I don't know what to do without my little mattress. Well, it's big. It's a California king.
Helix is great because you take a quiz, and then based on your answers, you can find the best mattress match for you.
And they have tons of different models to choose from. So if you're a side sleeper or a back sleeper, or if you run hot when you sleep, they've got something just for you.
And before getting my Helix, I had never ordered a mattress online, but it's amazing because you don't have to go to a mattress store. You don't have to deal with the people. You take the quiz, you order it online, and then it's delivered right to your door, which is really cool. You don't have to coordinate with a delivery service. They just drop the box off. You don't have to coordinate with the delivery service. They just drop off the box and you take it out, and there you've got a mattress.
So if you need to upgrade that old lumpy, dumpy mattress, get a Helix.
Go to helixsleep.com/sloppy for 20% off site-wide.
That's helixsleep.com/sloppy for 20% off site-wide.
helixsleep.com/sloppy.
Get you a mattress. Haters, you should kill yourself.
And we're back.
What were these 4 stories
Let's
that I'm
talk about
conflating?
Palm Springs.
So the last time,
Perm
so there's a few things to say. Number one, I love a nudist resort. When I went for Matt, my husband's birthday, we went to one of
You
those.
hear that? Husband.
I just
So lay off.
my husband.
Oh, I stay on his Twitter.
Shout out. Shout out. We went for his birthday to a nudie hotel, and it was bomb. It was it wasn't even that. It was just you got to meet some nice people. You got to be naked. If you wanted to be, you could. What you might be talking about is that we did not go to Drain Your Nut that weekend, even though it was there that weekend, partly because of
Palm Springs?
Yeah.
Mm.
Partly out of an overwhelm that I'm at a part of my sluttery where I'm still kind of new in the
Sure.
grand scheme. We were monogamous until 3 years ago. So I'm still I've only been to a couple of parties, and also the whole
Lowercase t.
lowercase. And if you,
Maybe I'm in the cloud.
if you go to one of those things and you might run into someone you want to
Yes.
really
Yeah.
feel like it's a place that you don't care about that. And I feel to go to an aggressive fest party, I have to be really in the right mindset. So that's maybe where you get that from.
Yes.
What I do need to tell you about is when I was in New York, I went to a party,
Oh, yeah.
and that was Divoon. Absolutely.
What was it
Divoon.
called?
Did it have a great name?
Oh, I guess you can't.
No, I can say it
Oh.
was isn't it New York Jacks?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I was asking because I didn't
No,
know.
they have those in a lot of
That was not a
cities.
leading question.
There's
no,
an
no, no, I
LA
found the mean girl.
There's an LA Jacks and New York Jack.
Yeah. So they're all
And there's
over.
one in San Francisco, and she
Yeah.
does amazing tricks.
Well, I was there. I've told this story, so if anyone has heard it before, I'm so sorry. But I was there during New York Pride, and so it was extra.
Yeah.
But surprisingly, I did not see a single person I know knew, and I was worried that it was gonna feel like if you didn't want to play with someone, you would feel sort of trapped into it.
Mhm.
But what it was just very if you're into it, your eyes are connected. If you're not, we keep it moving. And that to me was so great. It was just oh, if we're into it. If we're not, I'm gonna keep on moving. Grab a fistful of what's the type of lube they use?
Albaline.
And then do my
That's
thing.
too much. Whatever you grabbed. Whatever you
well, no,
mind.
because you don't want to dry out.
Do it. Show it for the people. You did it wrong. That's too much. You just need this much.
Yeah, that's a makeup remover.
It is.
I just the guy and he made me use Vaseline. He didn't make me use it. That's just all he had.
That's what he offered up.
I just heard that Vaseline is actually I do these sex diary interviews for the podcast paid, and someone told me that they just got into Vaseline and it's been really good.
Why? Because it's jelly.
Petroleum jelly.
Petroleum jelly.
It might be to the point where they're just silicone ain't doing enough. I got to go full on grease the
Grease the knob.
Grease
Grease
lightning.
that up.
Well, I gotta stroke
'Cause when
my
it heats
penis,
up,
bro, and be with my penis bros who
Yeah, what
fuck
about
my
that
penis
language?
sex,
Have you run
bro.
into that recently?
Goon out with my
Oh,
penis out.
I've only run into it on the World Wide Web,
Oh.
and I respect their journeys, but when it's like we're just a bunch of bros playing with penises, it kind of takes it. It takes
That was
That's
incredible.
exactly what they
it
do
takes
too.
me out of it.
Yeah.
Where I'm like I'm more of like if there's a daddy saying like worship that is a lot better than like my
Oh yeah, we're just a couple of guys are together. And then they say weird like my juice, my juice. I'm not into that. It's weird.
I say,
my hair juice.
And
I
that's
say
and that's
Ed
what one of his
Jush.
ex-boyfriends would talk like. And I know that y'all had like that because that's probably what it was about. Yeah,
Do tell.
Who are you talking about?
the one that's a Trump supporter now.
Oh, well,
Were you always over there being like, yeah, bro, our penis cocks.
no.
Worship my
I
my
didn't. I told you. I just tried to get my mouth around the as fast as possible so that I just moan and mumble instead of actually talking back.
You didn't want to like have to conjugate.
No, he starts talking in
He's a
wild ways,
yapper.
and I just go.
I
'Cause it's
I
much
subscribed to
easier
his
for me.
OnlyFans before I realized he was a Trump supporter because I wanted to see the business.
Is this what's the really famous porn star that went he was like the guy for like
Colby Keller.
Colby Keller. Remember he went Trumpy?
Yeah, and then he's just like kind of went off the side of the earth,
Yeah,
right?
I
the
think
flat earth.
I think
he
you
fell
went
right off the side
I
of the
think you
flat
went
earth.
van life too.
Oh,
Maybe you drove. I was
almost
gonna
went
tell you
van
about
life
my
during the
big one.
pandemic.
of course. And then you got very interrupted.
Yeah.
By who?
And then we took commercial.
Hey, by who?
I think it's whom. So what your
It's
big
actually Hoomst.
I'm sorry, oops.
Horse.
What's the celebration that you are planning your big milestone celebration? What are you doing?
I was gonna do it for my 40th,
Uh-huh.
which is this year. Even though I've been saying I'm 40 for 2 years on this podcast, my bad. I
Gonna
do
age up
turn
for the daddies.
I do turn 40 this year, and I was planning on doing a big party
Uh-huh.
because, like, I don't see myself having a wedding anytime soon. So I was like, oh, you better laugh. I'll spend money on myself like a big party. You think that's getting married?
Probably before you, dude.
Yes, because I don't want to get
Neither
married.
do I.
Yes,
Do
you
But I
do.
would get married out of spite just to piss
I
you off.
know you would.
Who is officiating both of your weddings?
You.
You.
Thank you for taking my
Shirtless,
fish.
But you have to shave from down here.
Fine, I'll shave my stomach and then not have abs. So big.
And your husband has to be there for me.
Sure.
What?
What?
Finish your little story.
So the big 4-0. We're
Yes.
we're spending money on ourselves.
Yes, but I'm going to be working. So it's going to be for the big 41.
But you can't postpone it, or
I
Is
am.
it a
I'm just
drain
going to do
your
it
nut?
next year.
No, but you can't postpone
not even
the
a
work you're doing?
No, I'm going out of town for a long
Oh,
project.
right.
How long
Opera.
is the project?
8 weeks.
Fuck.
And then it becomes
I don't get
summer
to- I don't have to see him for 8 weeks.
and then
I feel
pride
bad for you.
and all of that. So I'm going to do it because the perfect time to like do a big party in Palm Springs is pre-Coachella. It's like right now. Like if I were to do something next year, it's going to be like now-ish.
And how do you feel about postponing to your 41st?
Fine, I don't care. Like I don't. Fine, I don't care. No.
Sounds like it.
I don't really pay much attention
Yeah, you've
about.
been saying you're 40 already, so it's just like, what's 1 year?
And I don't care about holiday. And it'll be my 41st birthday. I'm not going to be like, this is my 40th. Like I'm making up for it.
No,
I'm
yeah.
just what I want to do is set up like a whole week of activities,
Mm.
organize them, and then
Bowling.
people can do whatever they want. But I'm talking family,
Family.
LA people, work people, old friends from Chicago, college friends. Like I'm just gonna like.
Would you want them all in the same house?
This is the idea: is that I'm going to invite like my community,
Mm-hmm.
all the people in my life, and I'm gonna be like, if you want to come to a drag show, we're gonna do that. If you want to come to a fuck party, we're doing that. If you want to come,
That's
you know.
actually kind of genius.
I
You're like,
love
you'll get to
this.
see everybody. You'll get to do what you want to do, and they
And-
can either tag along.
And if
or
one
go
of them wants to
shopping.
go to the pool party that's full of a bunch of gay guys in Speedos because they live in the Midwest and they've never seen that, come on.
They would be so lucky.
Yeah.
That sounds absolutely delish. However, question, follow up. Are you going to have one blowout bash that you're going to be like, this is the, like,
Yeah, like the big Saturday thing.
And-
but it won't be
Yeah,
the nighttime.
I have a
one.
question. Can I bring?
it
my
won't be
guns?
nighttime?
It'll be like the afternoon to the dinner.
Is it catered?
Yes.
And what's the type of food?
TBD?
Can I
Yeah.
bring a hooker?
Yeah, well, there'll be plenty there,
Okay, good. Then yeah, I'll go.
but no guns.
I can't bring my guns.
You cannot bring your guns.
I was just listening to this very podcast where we were talking about you having a gun.
Lots.
Oh,
I
God, no.
hate it.
Yeah,
Oh,
don't
okay.
do that.
Do you ever miss New York?
Can you return it?
Do I miss New York? I do not miss living there. I will only move back if I make Andy Cohen level of money.
Mhm.
Oh. Buy a building, buy a kid.
Truly,
run
I'll buy
TV.
children. I miss my friends. I miss Broadway. I did get to go in January and see 5 shows.
What did you
Wow.
Saw Sunset Boulevard with Nicole
Wow.
Schurz.
see? Pre or post scandal?
Hat.
Candle.
Scandal.
Oh,
Oh,
it
I
was
thought you said candle.
3 wick. Post scandal, but post enough that it had been like, she's kind of cunt, right? We like I was like, she should win the Tony. Like I say that on record. Audra McDonald and Gypsy.
Whoa.
I saw Oh Mary again.
Mm.
Then I saw a play called Cult of Love that was incredible. And then Death Becomes Her.
How
Okay,
was
I saw Death
that?
Becomes Her too.
Excellent.
It was cool.
It's
Can you sing a song from it?
Well, here's my answer.
Well?
Here's my answer.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't get the lyrics. I was trying to do it. I got it, but I didn't get it, and then I went too far. I didn't get the lyrics, but I did walk out the theater being like, they were belting high. Were the words something that I could fully register? Yar. But I
What's the earworm? What do you remember?
Michelle Williams.
okay, Michelle Williams sounded great.
She sounded great.
Now tell me, Ernest, that song?
Oh
yes,
yeah.
but
Tell
you
me
know
what
that.
you've seen of me cinematically.
But you know that from TikTok. Here's the thing. I saw
The roms, the coms,
The
the
rom-coms, the dramas, the dramedies.
I saw
The
this.
DVDs.
I saw this musical. I loved it. I had
Yeah.
an amazing time. I just didn't understand why there wasn't something that they made like catchy enough to
Who
sing.
did you see at O'Mary?
I saw Cole.
Okay,
I
good.
saw Cole. Matt had not seen it, so we were there together, and then
Matt.
and then but it was Cole's last weekend, so it was kind of a cool like energy. But no, I understand what you're saying. I've now listened to a lot of the songs from Death Becomes Her, and they actually like when you can really hear the lyrics, it's pretty
Do you
good.
remember them now?
Dipper.
I'm trying to make my point.
Well,
Your
not-
point's been made.
here's the deal. Here's why I think people like it is that
the stunts.
the stunts, the physical comedy is
It was
so
incredible.
funny. The
Costumes.
costumes are expensive. It's rare that we've seen like an expensive show. Of course, they're all expensive, but when they look expensive,
Yeah.
and the sets I think like played with perspective in a way that was very funny and
Oh, you went to
campy.
college.
You did.
And I'm not going to deny that I went to a university. And I just I like
Yeah.
it. There's a song. Here's the
Do it for the
earworm
gays?
for the gays.
Yes.
That was so. I mean, the costume changes.
Do you know about this?
Yeah, I saw her perform it on like late night or something.
Yeah.
That was the smartest thing. They should have led with that from the beginning.
Well,
to have
when
her
they
out there performing that
and when they
song.
perform at the Tonys, I think we're now in an era where if I make it fully faggotrini-esque, I think that we're in an era where they're trying to shove too many things into Tony performances
Mhm.
versus what they used to do, which is like do like the campiest number or
Right.
something that shows the essence of the
Right,
show.
they're trying to do like a mixtape of
Yeah,
stuff.
exactly.
Just, like,
And if they were to do that song, even though Jennifer Samard, who is excellent in the show, is not in that song,
right.
I think that is so. I mean, I was also like had just smoked a bit of weed when I saw that show, and so when you like see Megan Hilty singing for the gays, costume change,
Costume changes are crazy.
I was just like screaming.
the
And the
first
stunt doubles.
the stunt doubles are awesome, but the first costume change in that song
Yeah,
is an old school like fishing line string
yeah.
from opposite ends of the stage that get pulled, and then the garment comes off her and then gets like sucked down into the orchestra pit. Like
Ugh.
when it happened, I was like, "What?" And then I like quickly was able to see the fishing line, and I was like, "Oh, this is old school."
Okay, she's such a show queen, figuring out where the fish hook
All
comes
right.
from.
She loves
The
details.
BTS. But don't you think that show did something that is so smart, which is like old theater tricks?
Yes.
It didn't have to rely like it's an expensive show and it's doing stupid theater
Yes,
tricks.
I was like, "How are they
love
going to
that.
do all this stuff?" And it's like,
yeah.
"Oh, we're going to build a corset with a mirror in it, and then it looks like it's see-through."
Yes. But then you go to Nicole Scherzinger and Sunset
And there's
Boulevard.
nothing in it. It's just her on an empty stage.
And like
and
fucking
a fog machine.
fog
Just
and then
being kind.
and then TV screens with very high definition camera work. But Sunset Boulevard is a show that I have seen. I saw Glenn Close do it, brag, and the show is like what it is. And when you see this show is like not the best show in the world, but Nicole Scherzinger, you don't even care what the plot is because you're just so into her performance. And
She's out there just pushing up her buttons.
every single button pushed. And she
Loosening.
I don't know why I said push.
and I yes-anded it
You-
incorrectly.
You love a yes and.
You're so supportive.
Thank you. But yeah, I like the show. Couldn't tell you what. Someone was like, "And what happens when this character does what?" And I was like, "There was a car." So like that. So every show has its,
Yeah.
its thing.
What's
But
the last
to answer
play
the
you
question,
saw?
It might have been. Oh, the last play we went and saw Once Upon a Mattress.
Oh yeah, that was
didn't you
fun.
like?
But the last Broadway show I saw might have actually been O'Mary.
And then we also.
Or then
went
I
to
saw I
see
saw something else in New York.
another play.
I saw Little Shop of Horrors with
fun.
Jinx. Yeah.
Ugh, jealous. Wait, did you see a play that you didn't like? Is that what that face
What
was?
play did we see? That
the
we
one
didn't-
we left.
Oh yeah, we left it in.
And can you say the title on this podcast or
No.
no? Okay.
No.
Well, let me ask a question that we can include in this episode, which is, as someone who has always wanted to leave a show at intermission but has never been able to do it, is this something that you have done before,
No.
or how did
No,
you?
this is the first time.
Okay,
I've
so
ever
how did
done
it feel
that.
to leave at intermission?
I felt a little guilty,
I
and then
felt
we
so guilty.
we kept hyping each other up on the drive home.
Oh yeah.
Like no, it's totally fine, and like we have to work, and we're tired. And we would have just been like, drought.
Oh my god, do you smell toast? We were just very like
Ah!
it wasn't good.
We would have been falling
and
asleep
we were both
anyways.
just like we would have been upset if we stayed.
yeah.
And I believe that to be true because I'm the type of person that's like, if I spent money on this, I'm not leaving.
Were you worried that someone had seen you leave?
No.
Yes.
I wasn't.
Oh, I was. But then when we left, okay, to be perfectly
A bunch.
honest, there was a
And
ton
it was
of
all
people.
cool-looking gay people. who
Yeah, that were
leaving.
leaving. So we were like, okay, at least they know. And then
And we all sort of exchanged glances.
yeah,
Oh,
on the way because we were all parked in the same parking garage. And then a friend of mine who was there was like messaged me the next day and he was like, wasn't that so good? And I was like,
No.
we have different perspectives on like good and bad.
You know what? Let's take a break, and we'll be right back after this.
Ready to optimize your nutrition this year? Factor has chef-made gourmet meals that make eating well easy.
They're dietitian approved and ready to heat and eat in 2 minutes, so you can fuel right and feel great no matter what life throws at you.
Factor arrives fresh and fully prepared, perfect for any active, busy lifestyle.
With 40 options across 8 dietary preferences on the menu each week, it's easy to pick meals tailored to your goals. You can choose from preferences like Calorie Smart, Protein Plus, or even Keto.
Factor can help you feel your best all day long with wholesome smoothies, breakfast, grab-and-go snacks, and more add-ons.
I love these Factor meals. It's so good because there's always a vegetable that's included, and the protein portion is sizable enough. Sometimes when you get pre-prepared meals, it feels like that's all the chicken breast I'm getting. Like I always feel satiated after eating a Factor meal. And so if you're using it for like diet or like consumption reduction, it's really good. And then the ease is just incredible. Like to have nicely balanced meals delivered to you each week and all you have to do is heat them up. Like that's so helpful if you have a busy schedule.
Eat smart with Factor. Get started at factormeals.com/sloppyseconds 50 off and use code sloppyseconds 50 off to get 50% off your first box plus free shipping. Now the 50 is a number. It's a 50 off.
That's code sloppyseconds50 off at factormeals.com/sloppyseconds50 off to get 50% off plus free shipping on your first box.
Go get you a meal. And we're back. We don't talk about Wicked on this podcast.
We
anymore.
have been talking around your podcast, but let's
You've
talk
been having some
about it.
incredible guests.
Let's
Eric,
talk about it.
If you're living under a straight rock,
Yeah, you straighty.
Eric
Kill yourself.
hosts That's a Gay Ass Podcast.
Mhm.
And you've been doing what? You're on your 4th season? 5th? 4th.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
just
No,
completed?
I started like just over 4 years ago.
Amazing.
So, yeah. So, I have to say, the fact that I am here on this podcast and you're asking about my podcast is a pinch me moment, because I started that podcast being like, ugh, another gay guy with a podcast. But I was like, oh, is that your least favorite thing?
I say
No,
that.
she's a gay guy with
I'm
a
a gay
podcast.
guy.
Oh, yeah. No, as gay guys with a podcast, I was like, why would I add my own spin? And that now I'm here 4 years later, and I'm it's been a gay ass journey. The podcast is. We talk about character actresses, and the real gag is that the podcast has finally encouraged me, like the confidence of like doing it for all these years has encouraged me to do this new talk show that Meatball just shot.
Amazing.
And so I'm very excited about all the gay coming out.
That was such a fun day.
And I feel like with your show, you have like leveled. You've sort of, all podcasts start with like my friends.
Locals.
You get your friends, you do that.
Yeah.
Then you get this person who tells you that, it's
And
like,
then you get Lisa Rinna.
exactly.
Damn, I was so gagged. And you know what's the biggest crazy part about that is that
She has to be on.
the publicist pitched her to me.
So good.
That's crazy.
Which was just, and Jeff, shout out. He changed my life. But also, the Lisa Rinna of it all, I think, happened because the level up that has happened in the past year was Laura Benanti
yes.
talking about Zachary Levi. And I, as we all clearly have discussed, huge theater fag.
Right.
And so Laura Benanti was someone I just pitched on a whim. And she said yes. And then I said to my producer, Nathaniel, who has also helped up-level the podcast, Nathaniel McClure is a fucking star.
In the McClure.
And we love her. Also, very hot ginger. I'll send the handle.
Thank you so much.
But Nathaniel I was like, hey, listen, I want to ask about Zachary Levi, but do you think it's like a little too much? And he was like, she is such a pro. You will know what you can talk about, and just like let her go. So I brought up to Laura Benanti, hey, you did She Loves Me with Zachary Levi. Now that he's such a monster, because he talked all that about how Gavin Creel died of the COVID vaccine and not from the actual rare cancer he had, does it change your opinion looking back? And she looks me in the eye on Zoom. and she goes, I never liked him. And then she goes, wait, Eric, are you there? My internet cut out. The second she said, I never liked him.
What?
And I was like,
oh, God.
can you hear me? And she's like, Eric. And I was like, this is my luck. The second she starts to talk about him, but then my internet connected back. And I was like, sorry, let's take that again. So Zachary, and I do the whole question all over again. And then she goes, yeah, I never liked him. And then she goes in.
The way
so she had an out.
The way she ate him up.
And then I knew it was a great moment. I knew that her from top to tails, her interview was incredible. Just like she went to the Patti LuPone School of Media Training. Doesn't give a
Yeah.
So honest, so refreshing. And then the first thing that came out that was like, a little bit like, oh, people are paying attention, was just someone on Twitter being like, oh my God, Laura Benanti is talking about Zachary Levi. And I was like, oh, that's so fun. And then justjared.com does a thing that goes, Laura Benanti says about Zachary Levi, I never liked him. And I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. And then it went from that to Us Weekly.
Mm-hmm.
And then from there, it was, I think, just about every single like media outlet posted about it. And it actually brought people to the podcast, and other things that have happened have not really translated to a lot of,
right.
Because as you know, a podcast, it takes so long to grow and so much work.
And that idea of like you were talking about, like, oh, like you get pitched people by their PR teams. In the same way, there are, for big podcasts that have like whole networks behind them, there are like people who are scanning through what happened on the podcast and then writing little blurbs and sending those
and
out,
pitching it out
to press.
Yeah.
And so if you can lift something organically like that, that's incredible.
Yeah. And to that point, I
we
think
love a viral moment.
We love.
We do.
We love.